Hello and a very warm welcome to this special as we look ahead to the second T20 international that is being played between India and New Zealand in Ranchi. This match, if India wins this T20 international, then they'll win the series, but New Zealand will look to bounce back after the loss in the first match. I'm joined here by Shubhayan Chakravarti to look back at what India can do. Shubhayan, if you look at this team, and we've already got the playing 11, just one forced change in Mohammad Siraj sitting out and Harshal Patel coming in, but that was also because Siraj was injured. But if you look at this team, they went in with the winning combination.
Yes, absolutely, and that is what Rohit Sharma brings to the table, that calmness, which we talked about in past as well when he was appointed the captain. In Virat Kohli's captaincy, we have seen many a times that chopping and changing that hasn't helped the T20I side especially, but under Rohit Sharma we will see a lot more of that calming influence present in that dressing room. And obviously Harshal Patel comes in for Siraj, a deserved debut after spending seasons after seasons in domestic circuit and in the IPL as well. So happy for Harshal Patel there.
Yes, but if you saw the last game, you think that at one point India were cruising to a win and then it became very close, too close for comfort. And I think that's something that the team would have talked about. Also, how Shreyas Iyer and Rishabh Pant struggled to get going in, the middle overs. I think that's something that the team would have had a conversation about, and this is something we've seen in this team happen very often. I was just looking at Rishabh Pant's strike rate overall as well as in T20 internationals this year. He strikes at around 121, 122, and somehow you don't believe that's Rishabh Pant's strike rate, because you know that he wants to go at the bowler from the first ball.
Absolutely, I have covered Rishabh Pant for a long time. I have seen him grow in the domestic circuit. He is the batter who wants to come in and smash sixes from the word go, and that has been his mantra from day one in his domestic life as well. But seeing Rishabh Pant, there has been so much talk around time to take up responsibility. Maybe he's trying to get into that role. But yes, it is strange to see Rishabh Pant curbing his attacking instinct, and playing in that fashion. And coming to Shreyas Iyer, I think that number 5 and number 6 role in T20 cricket is a very specialized role. You need power hitters to get going from the word go, and Shreyas Iyer is someone who can play that anchor accumulator role as well. He's a great batter of a spin bowling. He's known as a spin basher in domestic cricket, but in international cricket, when it comes to batting at number 5, you need someone with more power and aggression. Something which I feel Shreyas Iyer might lack going forward in that number 5, number 6 role.
And that has been the problem now. We've seen in the World Cup as well, that you have a really good batting lineup, but the strike rate when it comes to the hitting power, somewhere you always see in this team a lot more accumulators, players who can play the anchor role than ones who can just go out hammer and tong straight away. But the news is from the BCCI, as we said, Mohammad Siraj got a web split on his left hand while fielding on his own bowling in the first T20 international in Jaipur, and so BCCI medical team is closely monitoring his progress, and so unfortunately he has to sit out. But as Shubhayan was saying, that Harshal Patel deservedly gets a chance into this team, and also this series is about fringe players grabbing the opportunity when it's given to them. And when you look at this team in the first match and the way they've played, the one good positive was also, something that we didn't see in the World Cup is Bhuvneshwar Kumar found his swing back, and I think just the way he got Daryl Mitchell out with that in-swinger, he took you back to how he would bowl when he was in form. So that was good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. But even Bhuvneshwar Kumar would be really disappointed by the way things panned out for him in the T20 World Cup. Obviously, we all know his quality. We all know what he can do with the new ball. But going forward, BCCI needs to think whether Bhuvneshwar Kumar is their first choice pacer or not, because you have so many talents. You have Deepak Chahar, you have Mohammad Siraj, who can bring you wickets with old and new ball. So Bhuvneshwar Kumar's new ball talent is nowhere doubted, but can he deliver the same thing with the old ball? Can he give you that extra dimension with the ball? That is something the Rahul Dravid era needs to think about deeply, because we all know Bhuvi's quality, we all know his caliber with the ball, but will you give him continuous chances above young talent like Siraj or Deepak Chahar?
Now, he did start well, but you also saw India's inability to pick any wickets in the first 6 overs. And you felt like at one point when New Zealand were, what, 103 odd for 1 after 13 overs, you felt like that is another concern that India would be looking to address, because, I mean, we saw that even during the World Cup and in this match. And I know this is just one game in the series and they're going to be trying and testing a lot of new things, but that's also something that they'll want to address.
Yes, absolutely. They were lacking wickets before they brought in Ravichandran Ashwin to the ball. But I think middle over wickets has been a concerning factor for the Indian team for a while now. We all know Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami have given you wickets in the power play, or for that matter, just Yuzvendra Chahal has come into the 6-7 over mark and have given you the breakthroughs. But overall, it has been a disappointing show by the Indian bowlers in this format specifically, that the failure to pick important wickets or break those important partnerships, and that is where Varun Chakravarti was trusted in the T20 World Cup. That is where Ravichandran Ashwin was trusted in the T20 World Cup. And going forward, I think they will show a lot more trust in Yuzvendra Chahal. They will show a lot more trust in your Ravichandran Ashwin, who has already shown what he is capable of as he continues to grow into this new role in T20 format again.
Yeah, and you wonder, I mean, obviously hindsight is always 20/20, but you wonder if Ashwin would have made a difference, you know, had he been picked into the playing 11 straight away in the first game. But Shubhayan, you were there in Dubai, in the UAE, covering the World Cup. What is the difference that you've seen? And I know it's just this series, but so much has already been talked about. Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma taking over, the beginning of a new era. What is the difference that you saw in you know, how the team was during the World Cup with Virat Kohli and Ravi Shastri and how it is right now? Was there a difference? Is that something that you've observed?
I think it is too early to say right now because they have played just one match. But whatever I have seen, the glimpses in this Indian team after those first 2 matches against Pakistan and New Zealand, after those 2 defeats, the change in approach. I think now Rohit Sharma, who has been known for being an anchor specifically in this format of the game, is showing his colors from the word go. KL Rahul, obviously, we have talked about that he is failing to convert those IPL innings, IPL knocks into national colors. But those 2 batters, if they can get going from the word go, they are one of the most devastating pairs in this format specifically. But the biggest change has been the trust in a new white ball all-rounder in Venkatesh Iyer, although he didn't bowl. And he wasn't needed to bowl because of how the first 5 bowlers bowled. But yes, Venkatesh Iyer, whom majority of the people have seen as an opener for Kolkata Knight Riders, did start as a middle order batsman for Madhya Pradesh in domestic circuit. So he knows the role, he knows the basics of this role, and Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma under this new management needs to give him a bit more clarity. Now we are seeing the momentum slowly shifting to the likes of Mohammad Siraj, Deepak Chahar, even though Bhuvi played in the last game, but we will see a lot more youngsters coming into the scene. Maybe Ruturaj Gaikwad in the final match of the series.
And to think that this pool actually knows Rahul Dravid sir really well, and he knows them well. They've all worked under him at some point, have played under his guidance, you know, have trained under him, and I think that augurs well for Indian cricket and the future of you know, Indian cricket as we go forward.
Absolutely, Rahul Dravid is one of the most, you know, respected members of the cricket fraternity, and even if some youngster haven't got the opportunity to train under him, they know who Rahul Dravid is. They have that automatic respect factor when they walk into that dressing room or at least interact with him. So that augurs well definitely for all the youngsters. They know what sort of discipline he would want or what sort of guidance you would seek from Rahul Dravid. So that brings a massive difference when a 20-year-old walks into the dressing room where you have Jasprit Bumrahs, where you have Rohit Sharma's. They need that guiding influence, they need that guiding light, and Rahul Dravid will definitely bring that into the scheme of things.
It's early to say, these are early days. He's just taken over. It's his first series as the head coach of this team, but so much to look forward to at this moment. India have already won the first T20 international, and if they win today, then they seal the series finally, and you wonder how packed this calendar is for cricketers and for us journalists, because we're sitting here and there's been no time absolutely since the World Cup. You're back working here, and India's going to possibly win a series today. That's how quick this turnaround has been.
I seriously feel for the cricketers. Even I was having an interview with Jason Holder. He said, look, we all accept the fact that the cricket world missed 2-3 months of cricketing action due to COVID-19, but too much cricket is not healthy as well. I have thousands of cricket fans who keep on pinging me. See, we can't remember what happened in the last match, and we have a new match at our hands today. So I think broadcasters will need to look into this factor, that too much cricket, the players will get burned out ultimately, and we want quality cricket. Even though the likes of India, England, Australia can have a bench, can have a second string squad at their helm, but can other teams like Bangladesh or Sri Lanka or West Indies have the same thing as well? So we need to think on that line as well, and I am pretty sure all the stakeholders will possibly think about this in future as well.
I'm sure this is something that they'll be looking into. But thank you so much, Shubhayan, for joining us. So yes, the news from Ranchi is that India have won the toss and they've decided to chase. We'll get you all the latest in our mid-innings show. Do join us then. For now, goodbye. Thanks for watching.